You are listening to the Millionaire Architect Podcast with Matt Ganzak.
Welcome back. My name is Matt Ganzak, and this is the Millionaire Architect Podcast, brought to you by My Credits. My Credits, your customers will love you for it. You're able to reward your customers. And yes, your customers will love you. So if you have not downloaded My Credits yet, you can download it when you watch these videos on my YouTube, on my Facebook, wherever you watch them, any of my websites. I will actually pay you for watching my videos. Novel concept, right? It's My Credits. I created it. Really cool stuff. All right, awesome. In this episode, we are talking about the pros and cons of working from home. Are you considering getting an office? Are you considering working from home? Let's talk about it. Let's break this down. So first of all, I have a lot of clients that work from home. I have a lot of clients that work from an office. And I have clients that make tens of millions of dollars doing both, right? So the question is, what is best for you? What is best for you, working from home or working from an office? I choose to work from home because what I like to do is get to work early in the morning. There's no drive time. There's none of that going on. And then I want to accomplish what I need to do during the day, split up my day. I always work out after a little bit of work. I'll clear my mind in the morning and then get a workout in. And then from there, I go on to accomplish my day, accomplish my tasks, knock things off. Actually, I was talking to Sachi, who is my wife. We just got married. Yay. So we'll be talking a little with her, but we'll talk a little bit about that as well, as she's gone right now. And it's a fantastic opportunity for me to create content because sometimes when she's here, there's a lot more going on. So that is a downside of working from home, is that you have other things going on in the world and you have to kind of pay attention to those. But from an office, I don't like shutting myself into that. I like to be part of my world. So that's something that I choose to do. But yeah, we'll get her into some of these in a little bit. But point being, inside of my world, I'm able to accomplish some of those things I'm able to accomplish. And then I'm able to still live inside of my world and still pay attention to my world without losing focus of the time, creativity, and the mindset that I have to get into in order to have a really super productive day. But I was talking to her last night actually about buckets. And what I want to talk to you about as well is these 3 buckets. And how I sort my day is into 3 buckets. Bucket number 1 is things that I need to absolutely take care of today. These are things that are pressing and there's no tomorrow. These things need to get done today. And I put a lot of stuff into that bucket. And then I have a second bucket that is everything that needs to be done tomorrow or in the near future. Not like 2 weeks from now, but like tomorrow or the next day. That's my second bucket. And then my third bucket is stuff I don't even need to worry about. Like it's like set a timer, set a something, and don't even think about it. Now, those are the only 3 buckets that I think of. I don't think of any other bucket in my world. I don't think about my previous buckets. I don't think about, things that were yesterday. I only focus on today and what needs to get done today. And then I try not to put anything from the today bucket into tomorrow bucket before I rest my head on the pillow. So typically what I'll find is, if I can shut down at 6 p.m., have dinner and completely unplug and so forth, which I leave my phone in my office. I don't take my phone out to around the dinner table. And what I like to do is shut down and have a meal and like totally like turned off, like totally focused on Sachi and totally focused on family and friends and whatnot. But then from there, if there was anything in that bucket, if there was anything in my has to be done today bucket that is not done, then what I'll do is turn back on after dinner and get that done. Because I have a dedication, a willpower, and a focus that is unwavering. And at the end of the day, the only person who can hold you accountable at the end of the day is yourself. I can tell you push through. I can tell you you have to do it. I can give you my structure. But in the end of the day, it's you who has to live that structure. It's you that has to actually push through and create that structure inside of your life so you can accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. And the way that I do that is with the buckets. So I sort everything into the buckets. Everything in the future goes onto my calendar. Everything for tomorrow goes into my to-do list, which is here and also in Trello. And then inside of my work for today, I write it down, because when you write something down, it becomes at least real. If you're just thinking about it, it's not real. And there is something about, I learned this from Mr. Ryan Stewman, but there is something about actually writing something down where when you physically write something down, it sticks in your brain a lot better. So instead of typing, I like to write. So I have, notebooks and notebooks and notebooks just full of notes on every single day that needs to be done. I put down my to-do list, and as I'm showing on camera here, I put down my to-do list and the date on every single thing that needs to be done, and I do it on that date. So, and then I'll go back. If there's something that was not completed, I'll go back and make sure that everything's crossed off. And then as something is finished, I physically cross it off, which is really important for me and my brain and my focus and my structure. So I encourage you to find your structure, find that thing that works for you, and make it work for you, because at the end of the day, the only person who's going to hold you accountable is yourself. And if you let something push off and you let something slip to the next day, it's the only fault is your own. So really focus on that and focus on building that structure and how you do that. But so we were just talking about sorting into buckets, and she was getting really nervous and really upset about a big upcoming event coming up that she's doing. And I was like, you can't worry about some of those things. Some of those things are far off bucket pieces, and you need to sort things into those different buckets. Because if you continue to carry this weight, if you continue to carry the weight of all of your to-do list, you're just going to get bogged down and you're not ever going to be able to accomplish anything. But if you sort them into piles, and then you can knock out those piles, or however you want to consider it, like, if you stack cinder blocks, right? And you can pick up a few of the stacked cinder blocks and make it work. But if all the cinder blocks are stacked and you try to lift them, you're going to break your back and you're not going to be able to do it. So that said, Sachi and I, we work together, and she's been working full-time for the company for over a year now. And it's been great to be able to retire her from her paralegal job. And she was considering going and becoming a lawyer. And I was just like, what do we want to do in this life? What do we want to do together and in this world? What's our passion? What's our dream? What's our focus? Does becoming a lawyer help us achieve that? The answer was no, collectively. So we decided that she was going to work with us, and she does full-time, and it's fantastic. Also, my brother works for us, and other people in the family and friends work for us as well. So, I truly believe in the mission. I truly believe in the goal. I truly believe in the thing that we're working on. And I believe that if we help people and create this positive vibe in the world, that it'll come back tenfold. And it has so much so tenfold. So, I'm thankful for all of you listening. Thankful for every single person that tunes in. I'm thankful for every single person that watches the video. I'm thankful for every person that decides that our software or our training is something helpful for you, and you purchase that. Fantastic. I love you until the end of time. So that being said, what works best for me? Is it working from home or working from an office? Well, I've done both. And I typically find that in my structure, in my workday, I can create more control from home. And some people are the opposite way, but when I am at home, I can control everything. When I leave this house, I can't control the traffic. I can't control the weather. I can't control so many things. Like, I am relying on other people for other things. But when I am here, I can control my world. And as I can control my world, but again, you're like, you're a guy that doesn't have kids, Matt. Yeah, I don't have kids right now. But when I do have kids, I'm going to have structure and control. Right now in my office, it's kind of open to the rest of the house. Like, it's not open, but there's no door here. So it kind of is open to the rest of the house and so forth. So if I had kids, they would just be running in and out all the time. One of the things that I want to do is I want to build our dream home, or at least find a house that I could build our dream home in. And I want to make a soundproof area that would be a soundproof office where I can shoot video content and the kids can, they can do whatever they want in the other room as long as I have my soundproof room and so forth. Then that would be perfectly fine. So I want to build that, not create excuses. I want to build solutions. And that's really what the Millionaire Architect is about, is creating solutions out of problems. And at the end of the day, that's really what it is that we do, is we create solutions. It's not necessarily just, hey, you build software. Hey, you build this. I create solutions. I find a problem out there in the world and I create a solution using software or using technology or using whatever that might be. I wrote a book about it. I'm writing 3 more books, by the way. So this is definitely a dedication. This isn't a toe in the water. This is a complete dedication to the future. And we've already started on 3 more books. So absolutely incredible things coming down the road. And every single thing that I do, I've gone back and forth on it. Everything that I do is going to be from home. I'm not going to start an office. I believe in working from home. That's my belief. I don't know what your belief would be from that standpoint. I don't have clients come in, but if I do need to meet a client, I can always rent a space, meet a client. Doing live seminars and whatnot, there's some awesome spaces here in Naples, or I would travel and do spaces in other places. I've done that before. I used to reward people as part of the sweepstakes company that I worked with. And I would go out and hand out $1 million checks. I would rent a space and invite the media to come in and do all those sorts of things. Done that in the past. I'll always do it in the future. And there's tons of opportunity out there in the world, but you have to find that being. You have to find that sense of purpose, being, and that internal intestinal fortitude to push forward, create that velocity, and create the success in your life. And that comes from inside you. And you create that structure. You create the structure in your life that will go forward to create the success in your life. And the success comes from the structure, not from the chaos. And if you feel that being structured inside of your home is the best thing for you, that's where you need to be. If you feel like it's chaos inside of your home and there's more structure in your office, that's where you need to be. But you have to focus on what you do and what's internal and not what other people are doing. So that's one massive teaching. If you take anything from any of these podcasts, any of the content that I do, really, it is, don't look at what other people are doing and try to be like them. Look at what you need in order to be great, and then give yourself that. So if that's knowledge, if that's training, if that's working from home, if that's working from an office, whatever that is, give yourself what you need to be great. And don't look at other people and say, I need to strive to be that person, because you will never be that person. You can only be you. You cannot become somebody else. What you can be is the best version of yourself. To become the best version of yourself, you have to look inwardly. You can't look at other people and say, I'm going to find myself in this other person, because it's never going to happen. You're always going to let yourself down if you're consistently trying to be somebody else. So look inside of yourself. Say, what is best for me? What is best for me to create success in my life? What is best for me to create momentum in my life? What is best for me to create this control and structure in my life? I need to build that structure. I need to build this control, and then I need to go forward and execute upon that. If it's working from home, work from home. If it's working from an office, work from an office. And I'm just laughing right now because I'm totally waiting on the doorbell to ring and the dog to start barking and whatnot. I don't care. It's fine with me. It's fine if the dog barks a couple of times. It's fine if you're going to hear that on the podcast, which you definitely will at some point in time. And it's cool. That's fine. I work from home. I'm not embarrassed of that fact. But I will say to you that, there has been a time in my life where I said, I want to have an expensive office. And I went and looked at expensive offices. I looked at one that was $20,000 a month. I looked at an really expensive office, and I was going to be one of the only people in there. And all it was for show. And I don't want to do anything for show. I want to do everything internally for me to make me better. And every single thing that I do is for me to make me better, not to make somebody jealous, not to make somebody think like, oh, I must look up to him because he drives this type of car, or he does this, or he's got a nice office. I look internally. What makes me more structured? What makes me better at what I do? If it's driving a really fast car and being able to get from A to B, but now if I sit in that car and I feel better about my work and it motivates me to work harder, then that's cool. I'll drive a nice car, which I do. And I'll live in a nice home, which I do. But at the end of the day, I do it for me. I do it for not the selfishness. I do it for the drive. I do it for the passion. I tap into that inner passion and that inner drive and that inner energy, and I tap into that. And that is the focus of all of my training. That's the focus of all of my energy, and that's the focus of all of my success, is tapping internally, not looking externally. So find what works for you, execute upon that, and focus on your passions that will express what you are. So, if it is traveling the world and not even having an address, do it. Live that world, but live it for you. Don't live it for somebody else. You have to live your life for you, because eventually people will see through it and they'll say, hey, this person is not real. This person it's a hologram of the real person that is inside. And I don't project anything other than what I am. I probably withhold some of the goofiness, and I've been told that I need to, show some of that in these podcasts, and maybe one day I will get comfortable and actually show some of my inner goofiness. But for now, staying serious, keeping that up, keeping up the seriousness. So for now, I'll tell you, you look inside, you find that inside of you, and you bring it forward and execute upon that. Feed yourself what it needs in order to succeed, and then create that success. Don't look outward to find that success inside of you, because you're never going to find it in somebody else. So don't look at what other people do. Focus on what you do. So if you want to work from home, work from home. If you want to get an expensive office or any sort of office or a cheap office, it doesn't matter. If you want to work from a broom closet and that's where you feel the most creative and the most inspired and the most driven, work from inside your broom closet. Does not matter, but it only matters to you. And that's all I had to say for you guys today. So have an awesome day. I want you guys to be awesome today. Do something awesome. Feel just power and passion and everything in your world. Bring it forward and create awesome things in your world and build your empire, build your world. So thank you guys so much for listening to the Millionaire Architect Podcast. My name is Matt Ganzak, and we will see you on the next episode.
You are listening to the Millionaire Architect Podcast with Matt Ganzak, brought to you by MyCredits. MyCredits. Reward your loyal customers for watching your videos and engaging with your business. Your customers will love you for it.